convenes at 7:55 PM, closed to the public to discuss advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Those in favor? Have a show of hands. Those opposed to going camera? Guess everybody's in favor. Who made it? Ben Pass? Okay, the clerk is advising me that we do not need, that we can just carry on with the recommendation and fulfill it. And that's moved by Councillor Van Passen and seconded by Councillor Rabbits, that the Director, Corporate Support Services, be authorized to execute a contract with the Frank Cowan Company for a period of 2 years with an option in favor of Norfolk County to extend the agreement for 3 additional terms of up to 1 year each. And further, that Council approve the 2019 insurance premium of $1,383,315 plus applicable taxes, which includes an increase to the excess liability limit, representing a decrease of $77,358, which is minus 5.59% from the 2018 renewal premium. Any further discussion? Call the vote. Those in favor? Those opposed? That's carried. Thank you. So, moving on to number 8, motions. Don't see any motions forward. Notices of motion? None? Moving on to other business. Okay, we'll go on to other business. We'll start with staff first, right? So pardon me? Yes, we go to staff first. Okay. So under other business, I'm going to start with Mr. Loeb, Mr. Arlington, Mr. Slashenkov, CEO, Clerk's office.
Nothing this evening, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, now we'll start with you, Councillor Martin.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion directing staff to release the Meisner Dam options report as directed by previous council to
Okay,
council.
Just a sec. We've gone past the motions part. Okay, I called motions and you didn't.
Okay, that was my misunderstanding. Am I able to put this under motions? This is my first meeting.
County Clerk?
With the indulgence of committee, I think we can go back to notices of motion. You can't put motions directly.
I believe I specifically asked clerk and our deputy clerk today at 1 o'clock-ish and
Okay.
via email last night as to when I should do this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so you can, we've discussed this before. You're looking for just an update on when the staff report is coming forward, right?
After discussing today, no, it is a motion to bring it, yes and no.
I'm sorry, I thought that what you were inquiring about was just wondering when staff would be bringing forward the report on Meisner Dam. If it's something different, it would have to go through the notice of motion process, in which case it wouldn't be debatable or voted upon tonight unless committee decides by a 2/3 majority to waive the rules of order. But first you'd introduce it as a notice of motion right now.
So, yeah, he mentions that you have to introduce it as a notice of motion right now.
Notice of motion.
Okay? Everybody has to learn.
Thank you.
Go for it.
I would like to make a motion directing staff to release the Meisner Dam options report as directed by previous council to council and the public by January 10th, 2019, and that staff release to the public all materials related to Meisner Dam, including any information that would be available through the FOI process, the legal opinion, any information previously deemed confidential, as well as the options recommended that previous council direct staff to prepare, and that this all be released by February 15th.
Okay. Do you have a comment on that, Mr. Loeb? I saw you go into the mic.
My comment would just be there's been considerable legal advice on the Meisner Dam issue dating all the way back to February 2nd, 2011. Although I have read all of those materials, it has been some time. It may be worthwhile to defer that portion of it on the legal until I have the opportunity to review it and perhaps provide some advice to council. And I say this in the context of I don't recall specifically, but in case there are elements that should be considered by council, it's helpful for you to know what's in that legal advice before you decide to release it, essentially.
Okay, this is coming from as Mayor Chapa spoke about, a increased, heightened awareness for needing to have additional transparency with our community members. It's something that a lot of us campaigned on, and specifically campaigned on releasing all the available information so we could make the best possible decision moving forward in this term with Meisner's Dam. So then I guess I would like to ask, looking at Andy's face, would it be appropriate to ask when we would receive that information in the reporting that we discussed?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I believe the options report is substantially completed and it was planned to come forward to council in early January. The other items, there has been, in the packages I provided you, this big bulge here in that manila envelope is all Meisner Dam information, so that goes back to 2011. So there is a significant amount of information, so I'd suggest that council members, committee members take that home and review it and think about what items you want to release publicly. The 2011 stuff is in there that Mr. Loeb referred to, so if you do want it, all you need to do is a motion to release it publicly, and we certainly will. The FOI stuff, we can do that. The problem with FOI is that when you do a broad one like Meisner Dam, we'll get you every responsive record, and we won't provide a nice detailing list of what it is. You just get a package that has that many papers there, and so for council members and the public, it isn't necessarily the best way to access records, but if that's the desire of committee, then that is what we'll do. In terms of timelines, if the council doesn't, I mean, certainly this notices of motion aren't debatable, so we're going a bit beyond where we should be going. If it stays a notice of motion tonight, then there is time to work with the wording before the next council and committee in January. But if committee decides that they need this moved forward as a motion tonight, then that's committee's decision, but it takes 7 of you to vote for that.
And if I decide to go ahead with Mr. Loeb's recommendation to have information brought back to us, would I be able to stipulate that we would like that, or I would like that by February? And does it still need to be a standing?
Is that doable, Mr. Loeb?
Yes is the answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just to add, I don't think staff have any problem with providing information. We've been trying our best to provide as much information as possible for council, so if you want it, we'll make sure it's available.
Okay, so if I could, I would like to amend this to read, I would like to make a motion directing staff to release the Meisner Dam options report as directed by previous council to council and the public by January 10th, 2019, and that staff release to the public all materials related to Meisner Dam, including any information that would be available through the FOI process. We'll skip the legal and confidential information and let Mr. Loeb deliver that to council in February, hopefully by the 15th. Would that be appropriate?
Yes, that's no problem. We can easily go through and do that search, and we'll post all the information on the county's website.
Thank you.
Okay. So is that a motion or notice of motion?
Right now, it's a notice of motion. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a notice of motion right now. Okay, I didn't know what the legal opinion was. Okay, we've got some motions on the floor. We've got, it's a notice, okay, so it's not debatable, right? Okay. Can you leave that request with the clerk so that he gets it printed right? Okay. Councilor Van Passen?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can I ask a question of the clerk on process then? If that's a notice of motion, is that dealt with at the next committee and council meeting or at the next council meeting?
Very good question, through the chair. Yes, so it would be the next committee and council, but I'll proactively, understanding committee's desire to see more information, I'll already get my staff to start doing the work on the Meisner Dam, because there's never any harm in having them pull together all this information.
And my
Okay.
follow-up question to that, if 2/3 majority of this council decides to waive the procedural policy and deal with it as a motion as of today. Can we do that as well?
Council can do anything they want.
There you go.
I mean, sorry, committee. You have to wait for council approval next week, but yes.
Okay, we are under other business, so I'm going to go to Councillor Taylor now. Pardon me? What are we doing then? Listen, okay, we're doing other business. This is an opportunity where you get to, if you have an issue that you want to present to council and the public, this is the forum you can present it in. You know, not something like a street light that's out or a pothole here on this corner, or one of, but if it's something that involves a number of people or businesses or, you know, like this here Meisner Dam, it's been a big issue, okay? It's been there for 10 years. So that's what it's about. So you can pass if you like, okay? And you'll get to know the process, okay? Councillor Geist, you must have something. No. Councillor Van Passen.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This past Saturday, I had the pleasure and honor of representing the mayor in Norfolk County at the Langton Christmas Parade and got to pour, I think, about 200 cups of hot chocolate along with our local MP, Diane Finley. We got to pour out the hot chocolate for the kids after the parade. So, and I appreciate the fact that we got to go out to Roger was there as well in his ward and hang out with some good farmers and people out there in Ward 1. So.
And you did see Santa Claus, right?
Yeah, we saw Santa Claus, yeah.
Okay, we're going to go to Councillor Rabbits now. Councillor Rabbits, your turn.
I don't have any other business, but I did have a question, and it's come up under this section. I thought it's appropriate
Sure,
to ask.
go for it.
Regarding the private and confidential information contained in this brown envelope pertaining to Meisner's Dam. Am I under the impression that we can take this home, read it, and then bring it forward to our next council meeting to release to the public so we deem appropriate as a council?
Clerk?
Through you, Mr. Chair, terrific question, Councilor Rabbits. If there's any confidential information that we have in our possession, all it takes is a motion approved by council to formalize its release. So that'd be the process, and if you're interested in that, just let us know and we can assist.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Councillor Huffman.
Well, I just wanted to give a quick update on the horses situation in Ward 7. And there has been a great committee formed. There is a meeting scheduled for December 17th at the Hagersville Legion. Our local MPP will be in attendance, and we'll be going forward with some information to present to Queen's Park and get some solutions to these ongoing issues in Norfolk County regarding animal welfare. And that's it.
Thanks for your involvement in that. Councillor Michelli?
I have nothing at this time, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
And the mayor usually gets the last kick of the cat, so I'm going to, pardon me? Go for it.
I'm the last one. I just want to say a big thank you to Chris for going and pouring hot chocolate with Diane Finley. I was out at YU Ranch to learn more about the Alice program, so that was a big help that he was able to go in my place.
Good. I'm going to give you one last chance. Anything, Councillor Taylor, that you'd like to? No, no, that's fair. I already asked him once, but I thought maybe after he knew the process, he might.
I suppose I would just like to say thank you to staff and everyone sitting here for the patience today. Lots to learn.
You're right. I'll just say it has been a challenge, but we will work through it in the next 4 years. So I want to thank, there's not many staff left, but I want to thank staff for answering all these questions. There was many of them. You've done a good job trying to clarify things, and thank you to all the councilors and the mayor. So we have to go in camera again. So where's the form for that? Where? Oh, here. Okay, can I have a mover and a seconder for the following? That the committee move into closed session at 8:30 p.m. to discuss matters pursuant to Section 239-2 BCDF of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001 C25 as amended, as the subject matter pertains to personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local employees, board employees, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition on land by the municipality or local board, labor relations or employee negotiations, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications for that purpose. Mover, Taylor, and Rabbits. Got that? Those in favor?